Whiskey news. Today, MGPI announced the total acquisition of Penelope Bourbon for just over $100 million. Funny story, Penelope whiskey is all sourced at MGP, so they just paid a massive premium for a catalog of their own products. Let's figure out why. On paper, it seems kind of weird to overpay for products that you created yourself, but MGPI is going through a pretty big transition at the moment. It's no secret that the modern craft whiskey movement has relied on MGP as the backbone. They have been the go-to for high-quality sourced whiskey, but they've struggled massively when it comes to marketing their home brands that they've been experimenting with over the last 8 years. Sure, whiskey nerds like me consider the high-end Remus releases to be some of the most sought-after bottles on the market, but Rossville Union, Eight and Sand, and even the base George Remus don't get a lot of love. So starting in 2020, MGPI started to look at the opportunity to acquire high-end, high-margin brands as opposed to building their own. In 2021, they bought Luxco, who produces Blood Oath, Ezra Brooks, Minor Case, and Yellowstone, for $475 million. And that was weird because while some of Luxco's products are sourced from MGP, plenty of them aren't. And as far as I'm aware, they haven't changed any of those products to be from MGP, though that does not mean they won't in the future. It's purported that the total cost of synergies will be around $5 million by 2025, and that's just business speak, meaning that MGP expects to save $5 million in Penelope's operating costs by cutting out middlemen over the next year and a half. So at the moment, Penelope Bourbon is made at MGP, finished in casks from Speyside Cooperage for their toasted or store picks, and then bottled by Bardstown Bourbon Company. MGP has the infrastructure to age and bottle the products themselves, and I'll go out on a limb and assume they already have access to boutique finishing casks for store picks and toasted barrels. But the biggest part of the savings will be by selling the bourbon for less money. Right now, MGP needs to make a profit from Penelope, and then Penelope needs to make a profit, and then the distributor needs to make a profit, and then the liquor store wants to make a profit. Basically, every step of production costs money. Who knew? And this will allow them to condense and save on several of those costs. But let's be clear, just because MGP will be able to make this product much cheaper than Penelope can, does not mean we'll see a drop in price. Although, from a business perspective, I think it would be very smart for them to pass some of those savings on to the consumer. I went out to a couple local liquor stores, surveyed their Penelope selection, and the results were f***ing expensive, which explains why we only own 2 of their products. Their bourbon is right around $40 for a blend of 2 to 3-year-old MGP recipes, and if you want one of their finished casks, it's going to be between $50 and $70, and the oldest juice there will be about 5 years old. So by uniting under the banner of MGP, they don't only cut out redundancies, they also gain access to national and global distribution. Penelope is only available currently in 30 states and 4 countries, but I suspect in a year's time we'll see basically national distribution. So is this good for bourbon? I mean, it's great for the founder of Penelope. It might be good for us if we can see price drops or if we see an expanded portfolio, because it definitely seems like the golden age of sourced MGPI has been over for some time. Distilleries don't even really have the option to buy 10-plus-year-old MGP anymore. It's either gone or they plan on selling it themselves, which makes sense. Why sell 15-year-old barrels to someone else so that they can market it for $500 a bottle when they can sell it for $250 themselves? That is all for now. I will see you all later this week.